Imagine a world where wars aren't fought over oil, but over a silvery white metal buried under salt flats and deserts. A metal so valuable that it's been called white gold. That metal is lithium, and right now it's quietly powering a global race between countries, corporations, and communities who all want a piece of it. From the electric cars rolling off Tesla's assembly lines to the smartphones in your hand, lithium has become the heartbeat of our modern world. But here's the catch. As demand skyrockets, the scramble for lithium is starting to look a lot like the oil rush of the last century, full of promises, rivalries, and human costs. And before we dive in, if you enjoy deep dive explainers into the forces shaping our world, from geopolitics to technology, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because it helps the channel grow and lets me keep making content just like this for you guys. So part 1, why lithium matters. Let's start with the basic. Why is lithium so important? Lithium is the lightest metal on Earth, and it has a unique property. It can store a lot of energy in a small amount of space. That makes it perfect for rechargeable batteries. The battery in your phone, lithium. The power pack in an electric car, lithium. Even the massive grid storage batteries that keep renewable energy flowing when the sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing, lithium.
I mean, if you don't have a plug at home, or you're on the road a lot, or you find yourself depending on unreliable DC fast charging, then waiting 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or even an hour to charge your vehicle is never much fun.
Wärtsilä GridSolve Quantum is a modular, easy-to-install energy storage system. Its compact, minimalist design reduces footprint on site and streamlines installation logistics.
It's not an exaggeration to say, without lithium, the clean energy transition would completely stall. Governments around the world are setting deadlines to phase out gasoline cars, and automakers are investing billions and billions in electric vehicles. That means lithium demand is projected to grow 6-fold by 2035. Some analysts say we could face shortages as early as this decade. So to put this into perspective, building a single Tesla Model S battery requires about 12 kilograms of lithium. A grid-scale battery installation, the kind that can power entire neighborhoods, requires thousands of tons of lithium. Multiply that by millions of cars, homes, and power systems, and you start to see why lithium has become such a critical resource. And when demand outpaces supply, prices surge, rivalries flare, and geopolitics get messy. Part 2. The lithium triangle. Nowhere is this race clearer than in South America's lithium triangle: Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. Between them, these 3 countries hold more than half of the world's known lithium reserves.
4,000 square miles of salt flats. I was in southern Bolivia, starting this leg of my South American journey.
The Atacama Desert, the driest place on Earth, stretches across northern Chile, showcasing one of the planet's most extreme and fascinating natural landscapes.
This is where over half of the world's known supply of lithium is stored.
Tenemos la mejor salmuera con un alto porcentaje de litio.
The lithium here in Chile is locked away in underground saltwater, or brine.
In Chile's Atacama Desert, companies pump underground brine rich in lithium into giant evaporation ponds. Under the blazing sun, the water evaporates, leaving behind a bright white residue of lithium carbonate. From above, it looks like a patchwork quilt of turquoise, blue, and green pools. Argentina is expanding rapidly as well, with dozens of projects in development. In fact, Argentina is expected to triple its lithium output by the end of this decade, with investments pouring in from international giants like a lithium company from China and Livent from the US. And then there is Bolivia. The salt flats there stretch over thousands and thousands of square kilometers, holding the largest single deposit of lithium on Earth. For decades, Bolivia has dreamed of turning this resource into national wealth, but so far development has been slow. Political disputes, lack of refining infrastructure, and disagreements over foreign involvement have all held back large-scale production.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Eric?
Sí, yo.
¿Cómo está?
Muy bien.
Oh,
¿Tú cómo estás? Bien.
it looks like you've got the whole family working.
Sí, hemos venido todos a trabajar, toda la familia. Estamos trabajando bloques de sal.
The concentrated lithium brine is then processed into lithium carbonate, which is then taken to another factory near the coast where it is purified into battery-grade lithium.
The chief executive of Bolivia state-run lithium firm, the YLB, Carla Calderon, so the pilot plant will produce 1,000 tons of battery-grade lithium carbonate in the first year.
Part 3. China's lithium dominance. But mining is only half the story. The real money is in refining, turning raw lithium into battery-grade chemicals. And here, one country dominates: China.
Despite a 90% drop in lithium prices, Jiangsu Lopal Tech and CATL have resumed operations at their lithium refinery in Jiangxi. The Yichun Lithium Carbonate Refinery, a joint venture between Lopal and CATL, will produce 3,500 tons this month.
Welcome to the BMW Group's Cell Manufacturing Competence Center in Parsdorf. The BMW battery of the future is being produced here in a pilot line.
The southern Chinese city of Shenzhen is charging ahead in the global new energy market with an explosive growth in exports of lithium-ion battery energy storage cabinets.
China processes about 60 to 70% of the world's lithium. It also controls a majority of the global supply chain for battery manufacturing. That means even if lithium is mined in South America, Australia, or Africa, a lot of it still flows to China for refining before it ends up in your Tesla or your iPhone. This didn't happen overnight though. Over the past 2 decades, China quietly and strategically invested in lithium mines abroad, in Africa, South America, and Australia. It signed long-term contracts, secured shipping routes, and poured money into massive battery factories at home. Now, as the West scrambles to secure its own supply, China already has a commanding lead. Its companies like CATL and BYD aren't just battery suppliers. They're becoming global giants in electric vehicles and storage. For the US and Europe, this is a wake-up call, because in a world moving away from oil, whoever controls lithium and batteries could control the future of transportation and energy. Part number 4. The Western catch-up. So what's the West doing? The US has only one active lithium mine, the Silver Peak mine in Nevada. But projects are underway in California, where geothermal plants could extract lithium from brine, and in North Carolina, where companies are reviving old mining sites.
Calpine operates around a dozen power plants, which use the Earth's pressurized steam to turn giant electric generators.
France opened a major battery-making gigafactory on Tuesday. It's the first of 4 such plants European and Asian companies plan to build in the country.
Europe is also stepping up their game. Like Germany and France are investing in battery gigafactories, while Portugal has begun tapping its own lithium reserves. The European Union has even declared lithium a critical raw material and is funding research into recycling technologies to reduce dependence on imports. Meanwhile, Australia has emerged as the world's top lithium producer with massive hard rock mining operations. But much of its raw lithium still gets shipped to China for refining, highlighting how control of the middle of the supply chain matters as much as the resource itself. Here's the problem. Developing new mines and refining plants can take 10 years or even more. Add in environmental opposition and regulatory hurdles, and the West risks being permanently behind China in the whole lithium race. Here's where the story turns personal. In Chile's Atacama, farmers say their crops are dying as water tables drop. In Argentina, indigenous groups have blocked roads to protest the mining concessions signed without their consent. And in Bolivia, political leaders have clashed over how to share lithium wealth fairly, with some calling it a new form of colonialism if foreign companies take too much control.
Bolivian President Evo Morales resigned after nearly 14 years in power amid a fierce backlash over a disputed election.
De pie, compañeros, vamos a permanecer hasta derrocar este gobierno enemigo del pueblo. ¡Que viva el presidente Evo Morales! ¡Viva!
In many cases, local communities see little of the wealth generated from lithium mining. While billions flow into the global corporations, villages near the mines often remain poor, struggling with scarce water and polluted lands. It's a familiar story, one we saw in the age of oil, coal, and gold. And it raises a tough question. Are we simply swapping one extractive industry for another? So where does this all lead? Some analysts call lithium the new oil because it could reshape global power. Countries rich in lithium are gaining leverage just like oil producers once did. Companies are racing to lock in supply contracts, and governments are scrambling to secure their future.
The BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro ended with leaders of emerging economies that make up half the world's population and 40% of its GDP standing together to demand a new world order.
The FBI is investigating a bombshell report that claims Chinese hackers pretended to be top U.S. lawmaker John Molnar during trade talks last July. A series of emails were sent seeking insight on negotiations.
Battery maker Ganfeng Lithium has announced a renewal of its lithium products relationship with Tesla in a 3-year agreement.
Already, alliances are shifting. China is cozying up to Bolivia with promises of investment. The US is courting Chile and Argentina. Even automakers like Tesla and Volkswagen are striking direct deals with mining companies to secure lithium for their cars. But there's a key difference from oil. Lithium can be recycled. Once a battery reaches the end of its life, its lithium can in theory be extracted and reused. So that means countries that invest in recycling infrastructure could reduce dependence on new mining altogether. But still, the technology is expensive and recycling rates remain quite low. For now, the world is still digging, pumping, and extracting as fast as it can. So here's my personal take. To me, the lithium rush is one of the biggest paradoxes of our time. On one hand, it's fueling the transition away from fossil fuels, a necessary step to fight climate change. On the other hand, it risks repeating the same mistakes of the oil age: over-extraction, environmental damage, and inequality. The future of lithium isn't just about who controls the mines, it's about whether we can balance progress with fairness, whether local communities benefit or get left behind, and whether we learn from the mistakes of the past century or simply repeat them with a new resource. So what do you think? Is lithium truly the new oil, or is that just hype? And can the world scale up electric vehicles and renewable energy without sparking new kinds of conflict? I want to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and join my YouTube members only group for behind the scenes, Q&As, and so much more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.